Frank's shirt.
I'm looking at Abby's tattoos.
All right, we are officially live. So, welcome, Tribe. Welcome back to Tribal. First off, congrats to Abby on winning immunity. Abby, first question to you. Oh, apparently Brandon's attempting to come back in. Abby, how much did you feel that you needed this immunity at this stage of the game?
Honestly, I didn't feel like I needed it that much. But I've never won an individual immunity challenge. And I've also been third boot in every org I've ever played. So this was a special moment for me. And I also love puzzles. So that's mostly why I tried. I honestly didn't think I needed it that much, but I could be wrong. Maybe I did need it.
Well, congrats on breaking both of those curses,
Thank
then.
you.
Congrats on getting your first individual immunity ever.
Thanks.
John, I'll move over to you next. So, speaking of the puzzle, there were quite a few people that did not submit. Do you think that people just felt that comfortable, or was it just that much of a devious puzzle?
No, I don't think people felt really comfortable. I know personally, I didn't feel comfortable enough to not do it. Just that day, I worked 10 hours, and then 4 hours after work. I'm like, I really don't have time to. I could practice all day and get a good time, which I was thinking was an hour, but 15 minutes and 30 minutes blew that out of the water for me. So I just didn't have time. I don't. I think people didn't do it because it was genuinely either they didn't have time or they genuinely it was that hard. But yeah, I don't think anybody here feels safe enough to not do that. No.
Okay. Kaylee, with both tribes going to separate tribals tonight, does that play a part in the decisions being made for tonight's vote at all?
Um, I don't think so. But then also yes, at the same time, I think so. I mean, I think we've all said it at least once, possible idea of a swap coming and things like that. So, um, but I don't know that that played a huge part in the vote tonight.
Frank, so now that you guys have experienced tribal council already, does it make it easier coming here and voting somebody out, or is it still just as difficult?
Well, it helps that we all hate each other, so coming here is just like a peaceful treat. Like we all want to vote each other out. So we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, tribe. We're here to vote bitches out. That's the name of the game. But no, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it doesn't get easier. I think it gets harder as the game goes on. The less numbers, less people talk to, but stronger bonds start to form. So it doesn't get any easier. I think it gets harder.
Sean, to you next. Obviously, we've seen the choice coming into play a couple of times now. Do you think that people are always just going to end up taking the choice?
We've only seen choices that do benefit the person making them. Um, it hasn't appeared really like there has been a negative outcome associated with taking the choice. So my assumption is that people will be self-serving, which is fine. It doesn't bother me. And then try to deal with the consequences of anything negative to others, um, rather than just letting it happen. But we also don't know if the choice was available this round or not. We haven't heard about that, and so like wasn't one person or like one tribe winning. So it's possible that there are two choices about to unfold that we just don't know about.
Interesting. All right. Brea, over to you. We're now 3 rounds in, so it's safe to say that you've been able to gauge your tribe. But have you thought about the other tribe in any way? Is there a dynamics point of view that you guys have of them at all?
I mean, I think that everybody has thought about the other tribe and like, how united that they could be or could not be going into maybe a potential swap or anything. So, um, yeah, and I definitely have thought about the other tribe myself, wondering, what's the tea over there? Why does someone have to, compete super hard to get 15 minutes? So,
Right. I've got a couple questions here that I'm just gonna give to the general public here. By show of hands, I'll give you two choices here. Which do you think is a bigger priority for you at this point? Tribe strength or tribe chemistry? Raise your hand if you think that tribe strength is a bigger priority for you at this point. So everybody feels the tribe chemistry, I guess, is the bigger priority. Okay.
I don't quite understand this question. I feel like the tribe's chemistry is the strength.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's a whole entire different spin on it. So, with that being said, then, do you all think that tonight's vote is a simple one, or is it a more complex one? I'll leave that open ended for anyone.
I mean, I'll say no vote is a simple vote at this point. I feel like we've all gotten to know each other. It's been a week now, so I would say it's simple, but it's not simple at the same time.
I will say this one feels simpler than our last one, which was unanimous, but
I was
also
going to say, you guys
complicated.
had a unanimous vote last time. So
It was not. It didn't mean it was simple. This one feels simple.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, I'm just going to ask for a show of hands. Who here thinks that their name is going to get written down at all tonight? Abby definitely should be the only one that I would see thinking she's definitely safe.
She's currently preoccupied. She can't raise her hands at the moment.
I see that too, but she's purely safe tonight. So
her hair is raising her hand at the moment.
Sorry, I'm mopping, so like my hand was a little raised.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. You weren't in the camera at all at the moment.
I'm dead. I'm being dad.
You're in dad mode. Sorry, Frank.
Yes, I am.
All right. So does anyone feel as if they're in any danger tonight?
I mean, again, as I said last time, you can never be completely safe in one of these games. Like, it can flip in a heartbeat. But I would say tonight, I think, I think the tribe's pretty solid tonight.
Okay.
And I think the lack of hands is a sign of trust in the people who I've talked about this. It's not that no one's afraid that their name's going to be written down. If it was, who's nervous that they could get a vote? Like, my hand would always go up, but I don't expect to get a vote because I trust the vote.
All right. I'll leave. Any of the other hosts have any other questions at this point?
I'm good.
All right. Anybody else have any other final things to say before we get ready to vote? All right, then I'll ask if anybody has any pre-vote advantages that they'd like to play. Now would be the time to do so. All right. With that being said, we will go ahead and open the voting booth up. I believe Miss Megan is going to be doing the voting booth.
Yes, I am.
All righty.
Okay, so I'm just sending Megan there now. I will let her get set up. And then I will be sending you one by one, just who is first on my thing. It will be John, but just 2 seconds while we confirm that Megan is set up and ready. Also, this is your time to do shout outs and just talk all of the utter nonsense that you normally do. Much love.
I wasn't sure if we were allowed to talk or not, so I didn't want to.
No, you can chat.
I've seen Abby's fish face. I need new ink. I
I'm
can't be
going
the only one talking. Everybody, like, come
Alright,
on now.
What? I'm here. Sorry.
I'm about to go on
Okay,
a
I'm
date
sending
with
John now,
ugly-
by the way.
Abby,
It's
did you
not
say you're going on a
hookable,
date?
lady.
Yeah, with an ugly guy. I'm only dating ugly guys now.
Why?
Because they give me more attention, and like the last time I dated a hot guy, I got fucked over. So like, only uglies now.
You could date me.
Does he have a fat wallet?
Well, we're gonna see. He's a career stand-up comedian.
So the answer to that is no.
The answer to
I
that is
don't know what the answer would be.
Or not his own wallet.
Well,
Still
I don't
be-
have a wallet,
Career.
so
Speaking
I
of
always-
ugly
I always
guy,
forget
we have to
mine.
compensate for that. So
Sending
we
Abby.
do other things.
oh, sorry.
What is everybody else doing?
I'm cleaning,
I'm waiting for dinner.
waiting for my internet to be hooked up.
You're still
like
waiting
the
for your
same.
internet?
Yeah, so I guess that when they hooked it up to the poles, that the guys didn't do it right or something, so they're trying to fix it.
Oh my gosh.
Always something. Literally, they always have to mess up something.
That's why I'm on my phone and not my computer.
We've been watching what was it called? The Amish Witches, the true story of Holmes County. And then there's a documentary on Hulu about the real Amish witches. And it's been interesting.
I'm in like watching The Real Housewives.
Next up's Kaylee.
Oh, me? Moi?
Our date was supposed to be at 7, but I was like, I have tribal council. I can't. We're gonna have to push that back.
You should have done tribal from your date. Like be eating dinner and be like, hey, I gotta
Maybe you could have entertained us with some comedy.
No, because if I would have done tribal council from the date, he would have used it in a future bit. Be like,
But
I
that would
went
have
on
been
this
so
date with
cute.
this
Like you could have
chick.
gone and watched him talk about your date.
Oh.
Where are y'all going?
I was just going to ask that question. Where does a stand-up comedian take somebody for a date?
Yeah.
It's like a semi-fancy like Mexican
Frankenstein.
gastropub. It's some bullshit.
A
Is it-
semi-fancy Mexican gastropub.
You heard.
I heard. I did hear. I didn't understand.
It's not like a cheap like Mexican restaurant. It's like, I don't know, it's like kind of fancy Mexican restaurant. But when you say Mexican restaurant, you just think like, you know. Miss Keisha?
You know, Ollie, I feel like in the future, I don't know if you know how to do it, but like, you know how like people can play like sound through their stuff like on a Zoom? Honestly, in the future, play some tribal council music.
Ollie's like, no.
I got you.
Not Ollie's first rodeo.
My friend has a soundboard. They
Okay,
use
next up
on
is
Zoom.
Brea.
I don't know.
No, I want tacos.
So
But,
am I
like, authentic
crazy for like the first time if I take a girl out on a date, it's not gonna be very expensive to make sure it's worth it? Is that bad of me?
No, I think that's
No.
what's happening right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might not get a second date, but you go for it.
I'm not taking her to
Yeah.
McDonald's, but I'm not gonna take her to fucking a 5-star restaurant.
I mean, I wouldn't take her to like, you know,
No, I wouldn't do
unless it's
something like
Abby.
what's this happy. I don't want to eat in front of the person anyways the first time. I feel like
That's
I
what
get
I
judged.
said.
Oh,
I said
Yeah.
eating in front of a man is a second date. I'm getting drinks only.
Like coffee is a first date. Drinks is the first date. I don't know. I'm old school. I like museums, so I like to be able to talk to
Museum?
somebody. Yeah.
That's
Why
so
not?
cute.
Nobody wants to do that shit anymore. Like,
Do
who wants
what?
to go to
What'd you say?
museums and shit?
She said museums. I feel like that leaves too
Museum.
much time for talking. Like, what if it's awkward?
Yeah,
Dude,
but
take me
if
to
you
a sporting
can't talk to
event.
the
That's the best
person,
first date. Go to a sporting event. You can talk and have
Sorry,
entertainment
could I just
all at the same
interrupt
time.
for
Yeah.
2 seconds?
no.
Look,
I'm just
I feel like
kidding.
museums testers my intelligence too much, so I don't know
Hey,
what you should do.
Maria. I'll get that ready for the votes, don't worry.
Very
Anonymous
interesting.
would
We
like to
love
say.
it. We stand. You know.
I don't know. I have to be able to talk to somebody to be able to like, I don't know. If I can't talk to you, then like if you can't carry a conversation, I'm not attracted to you. So yeah.
I
But
feel like
I
once they start talking to me, they don't like me anymore. So I want to keep talking to a minimum.
stop it.
My last day went like so bad. It was like such a mess. Like we went to this little like club. Well, it's not like a club. It was like a restaurant, but like back in the back was like a club. So when we were eating and stuff, we ate outside with like other friends and stuff. It was very windy, like super, super windy for some reason. And my like food, like I didn't have like a lot, like it was like a little tiny plate. And that shit flew. It hit me straight in the face. So I was all dirty and shit. And then like I tried to get a napkin and reach over, but then someone's like little plastic cup of water flew and splashed me and both my friends. So it was a mess. I was like, I want to go home. I said, I'm done. I said, I'm done. And yeah, it was a mess. And you know, he didn't offer the like help. Cause like I'm sitting there like wiping shit. So I was like,
Nah.
and then he was
Nah.
looking
Just
at
to let
me.
you know,
He was
I'm
looking at
about
me.
to go get the votes.
Okay.
Okay.
He was like looking at me. He was like, you have like a mess. I was like, okay.
Nah. I would have killed
Never
him.
spoke again.
You got Ollie playing the music now.
We stand.
This is how it's going.
He didn't like our conversation apparently.
This is how you're doing?
Doesn't it make it
Stay
so much more
downstairs.
intense? Like it's so much more intense.
I thought he was gonna screen share sound like play.
That's what I thought too. He's like, no, this is how I'm doing it.
I was gonna say I'm not that tech savvy, but I do have the votes. I'm just gonna stop that now. Okay, before I read the votes, if anybody has anything they want to play, now is the time to do so. Okay. Once I reveal the vote, the person voted out will have just a few moments to say their goodbyes. So let's get to it. First vote, Raven. That's 1 vote, Raven. Next vote, Frank. That's 1 vote, Raven. 1 vote, Frank. 7 votes left. Next vote, Raven. That's 2 votes, Raven. Next vote, Raven. That's 3 votes, Raven. 1 vote, Frank. Next vote, Raven. 4 votes, Raven. 1 vote, Frank. Next vote, and the third person voted out of Triumph Congo, Raven. Sadly, Raven is not here tonight to say her goodbyes, but production just want to say to Raven, Raven, we love you. Thank you for playing. Thank you for taking the time. But unfortunately, tonight, the tribe has spoken. Well, seems like you guys had a very unanimous vote. Will that continue moving forward? We'll have to wait and see. You guys can head